Yes, it's time for Mark Meets. Very excited about meeting my guest tonight. In Mark Meets, I speak to the biggest names in the world of politics, showbiz, sport, business and beyond. Tonight, one of the best known and most accomplished entrepreneurs in the country, Charlie Mullins, the son of a cleaner mother and factory worker father who left school at the tender age of 15 with no qualifications, after which he became an apprentice at a local plumber's. And in 1979, he founded Pimlico Plumbers, operating from a basement in southwest London. In September of last year, Charlie Mullins sold a 90% stake in that business in a deal worth close to £150 million. What a life, what a career. And I'm delighted to say that Charlie Mullins joins me now. Hey, Charlie.
Hi, Mark.
First of all, can I just say well done on everything you've achieved?
Thank you. I'm over the moon with it. It's gone amazing. It certainly didn't set off like that. I thought I was just going to be a plumber all my life, and then things changed for the better. And yeah, as you just said, plus the OBE I got for the plumbing industry also. So it's gone marvellous. And things are getting better now. You know, I'm moved on to other things now. Moved into a little bit of sort of singing, like sort of advising a couple of singers. My fiance's a singer. And I've been doing some business advice on that. Also, chairman of Great British Radio, and that's going brilliant. And dealing with some property in Spain and London, so good. Yeah.
Well, I think it's wonderful, and radio is a massively growing industry. I've got to speak up for GBNews Radio. I've got so many thousands of people listening to my show every night on DAB+, and I know that you've got multiple radio interests in what is a massive growth market. So that fortune of yours is going to continue to swell, and your heart is swelling at the moment because you've just got engaged.
That's right, yeah.
Rara.
Yeah, to Rara, or Rachel's a real proper name, but
congratulations on that as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's you've been married before.
A couple of times,
Yeah. So you enjoy wedding cake?
I like giving ashes away.
You caught the bouquet one too many times?
No, look, come on, I mean, you know, things happen in life, and but no, it's I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? It's,
of course, yeah. And I'm sure you're on very good terms with your exes, and it's lovely now that you
no, I'm not.
Settled down.
I'm not on good terms.
Oh, you're not?
No, maybe I'm having a laugh, and having a laugh. But all the same, you know, things move on, and you know, it's where you are today. So I'm looking forward. Actually, getting married in St Paul's Cathedral.
What a venue!
Because of the OBE, evidently you can go in there. So. Might as well, won't
you better use it, and I'm glad you mentioned the OBE, which we were very at fault for not mentioning. And tell me about that OBE. Did you receive it from Charles or the Queen? Or
from Charles, yeah. From Charles, yeah.
Brilliant.
So obviously now the King, but he was the Prince then, and I think it was in 2015. So I was over the moon with that, and very unexpected, and. Yeah, it opens a few doors, doesn't it?
It most certainly does. Good restaurants, tables in the restaurant, that kind of thing.
Well, it helps. I mean, you know, I'm very pleased to get it, and I think that, as you say, to come from an apprentice and achieve what's happened. Obviously, it's not just myself. It's been very much a family business.
Yeah.
You know, 4 children that all worked in it, and about 10 grandchildren. All in it. That's all from one wife, like not, you know, all over the place. And, you know, so it's all been a sort of family thing. But fortunately, it's turned out, you know, just amazing.
Well, I think it's amazing what you've achieved. Hard work, obviously, creativity. You've been very brave. You've taken risks. What was different to you as a 15-year-old leaving school and your other mates who might have left school at the same time? Why did you go on to achieve so much when others might not have?
Yeah, well, I mean, I sort of wasn't that academic, and I left school at 15, which I always say was a big mistake when I look back now. I should have left earlier, at 14 maybe. Because, you know, I was out working, doing jobs like many teenagers to get money, and I think the seeds were sown then, so... You know, I just think the work ethics come from working at an early age rather than just spending time in school going nowhere kind of thing.
Do you think you had a talent as well, or that entrepreneurial gene in you?
I don't know, because, I mean, the word entrepreneur wasn't even sort of thought about then, so I wouldn't think so. I think it's just hard work and... you know, determination. I mean, I'm a very determined person, and never give up on anything. And you've also got to be very practical, but everything I've done is on common sense. And as you know, common sense ain't that common.
Well, it ain't. And what do you mean by that? That your whole business was constructed on common sense? What would be an example of that?
Well, just straightforward things. Never had no meetings, never had no pests or busybodies coming in. Just eliminate...
HR departments, bureaucracy.
No, we got all that. You've got to have, I mean, to run a business now, you've got to have a great HR department, great recruitment department.
Okay.
But you've also got to be, brave enough to get rid of people. And, I'm not shy in doing that. And I think that's, you get rid of the waste of time people and work on the people that want to be with you. And I think the other thing that we done was always good was giving people incentives to come and work. We used to have a gym, I used to get a massage, a roof garden, barbecue, subsidised canteen, Christmas parties, boat parties, bonuses, and it works. So if you incentivise people, I think it's the way to go,
And, you've obviously filled your own bank account, but you've filled the bank accounts of thousands of young men and women who work for Pimlico. You've changed their lives. For many of those people, they've been with the company for decades. It's a career and a job for life for some.
Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. And,
which is rare.
Yeah, you're right there. We're taking on over 1,200 apprentices over the years, and that's gone marvellous. They've gone out to, have their own businesses or have their own companies or stay with Pimlico. Yeah,
for sure. So that's, you've sold the business, but your son still runs it?
No, he was CEO and he retained 10%, but he's decided to come away now and do his own thing.
He's gone to a US parent company, Neighbourly.
Yeah.
And I guess it just goes from strength to strength. You must be proud to see those vans
not
going
really.
around.
No, it's not going strength to strength.
Is it not?
No.
Okay.
No. They have a different way of running it, and it doesn't appear that it's doing that great. But, maybe they'll turn it round. But we had very much a family sort of business there and run it on a personal basis. And I think sort of, the Americans seem to do it in a more like just number basis.
The bottom line.
Yeah, but, maybe they'll turn it round.
Would you ever go back?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah. You seem surprised.
I am. What would that be, like a potential management buyout or something? Or would you sort of... Would you buy it back, or could you go back as a consultant?
I wouldn't buy it back. But look,
would you be willing to go back as a consultant?
You're right, yeah. But with no money, evidently I'm not supposed to do anything to do with it for a number of years. But maybe my family get together and, sort of bring something like it out there again, because it's in such a need, like London, for plumbers. It's such a shortage and people will always pay for quality.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, obviously I'm not going to go back to earn a few quid, but, I would go back and if someone wants some good advice on running a plumbing business, then I'm the man.
What about running a country? I know you don't like getting too involved in politics, but...
I do.
What do you...
I do.
Well, my producer said, you didn't want to talk about Boris tonight.
I didn't know if I was coming here to talk about me.
Well, what do you think about... just a word on that. It seems like what we've seen in recent weeks is a failure of leadership.
Of course it is. It's been a complete sort of disaster. And, the most important thing is that she stepped down from a business point of view. If someone ain't right in the job or can't do the job, the quicker they go, the better. So that's the good news. And now we've just got to unite, get together, start supporting whoever we put in, whether it be Boris or Rishi. It's looking like Rishi at the moment. We've just got to get behind them and support them and it'll work again. But we've got to stop all the backstabbing and all the infighting has got to stop.
You've been a boss. You're still a boss in your other businesses. Would you employ Boris Johnson? Would you put him in charge of one of your firms?
Well, no, he's been no good at plumbing, would he? He's a great politician, and maybe look, if he's back in there, he's back in there, and there's nothing wrong with that, as long as people support him. But no,
do you think he deserves another go at the top job? Would you say, Boris?
Sorry?
Do you think he deserves another go at the top job?
Yeah, why not? I think he would have perhaps tidied his acts up a bit, and if he becomes stable now and gets on with it, look, they could put him in there because he's obviously, a people pleaser, and people do like him, whatever he gets up to. But, I don't think it's going to be him, if I'm being honest. I think it's going to be risky, and I think the Sajid fellow will be Chancellor.
Sajid Javid, potential reunion for those two. And last but not least, Charlie, it's fantastic to meet you. What still motivates you? You've made your money. You're obviously very happy and settled now with your partner. All is good with the world. Why do you still have that hunger, that appetite for success?
Why? Well, I mean, I don't want to retire, you know, I think that's going to ruin everything, and as you can see, I'm pretty active and lively, and I think I've got a lot to offer still, and, you know, I'm very passionate about apprentices, so, you know, I really want to get more and more people to understand the value of an apprenticeship, and, you know, I think I've got, you know, other things that I can, you know, do good. I've been doing quite a bit of TV lately, and the show called Unbreakables, which was an amazing programme.
On the BBC, all about relationships with you and Rachel.
Yeah, and, OK, we went out first, but we still won because, you know, I proposed to her on there and, you know, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? It's not bad. What makes the two of you work, that relationship? What is it about Rachel that makes her the one?
Well, she's very much a jolly person, great singer, and, you know, I think we appreciate each other, the value of you know, being happy and working together.
Well, listen, congratulations on the forthcoming nuptials at St Paul's.
Yeah, you haven't asked me about children.
Well, yeah. You going to have any more?
Well, we're practising.
And on that note, Charlie Mullins, are thrilled to have you in the studio. Do come and see us again soon. There you go, the irrepressible entrepreneur, happily in love with Rachel, Charlie Mullins.